The human body is made up of multiple types of materials such as fat, skin and bone. These materials can be lost or damaged due to injury, disease or aging, and therefore there's a critical need for the development of materials with the ability to replace and regenerate damaged tissue. This is where biomaterials come in. Biomaterials are defined as being materials with the ability to interact positively with human cells and are often implanted into the body in the form of a scaffold, an artificial structure that's designed to act as a template to support damaged tissue. Before they can be implanted into the body, scaffolds have to meet certain requirements. The first being that the scaffold has to be biocompatible. This means that it should be accepted by the body and be non-toxic. The ideal scaffold would also be biodegradable, meaning that it would dissolve away from the body safely after its job is done. The scaffold should also have structural properties like strength and flexibility that are similar to the place it's being implanted into. For example, scaffolds being used to repair bone have to be strong. And finally, the scaffold should have lots of holes known as pores to allow for the movement of nutrients and to also provide space for new tissue to grow into. Bioactive glasses are commonly being used as biomaterials, especially those based on silicate, due to its ability to form strong bonds to bone. The problem with silicate glass, however, is that it's not very biodegradable. It stays in the body for a very long time, and there are problems related to the long-term effects of silicon in the body. Phosphate glass is a great alternative. One of the strengths of phosphate glass is how easily its properties can be modified. For example, the addition of silver into the glass network gives it antibacterial properties, and iron decreases its solubility. Phosphate glass is biocompatible. Phosphate is a main component of our bones and teeth and is harmless and safe. Phosphate glass also breaks down and dissolves in contact with water and is therefore biodegradable. Bone is composed of two main parts: trabecular or spongy bone and cortical hard bone. Spongy bone has a sponge-like structure with lots of pores, and a good way to repair spongy bone is by using a sponge-like scaffold. These can be produced through a variety of different methods, but the most common would be sponge replication. This involves the use of a sponge template made from polymers. A slurry made from glass particles dissolved in a liquid is poured over the template, and then heat is applied to burn out the template and solidify the glass, leaving a sponge-like scaffold. Phosphate glass has lots of interesting properties, but one of the most interesting is how easily it can be drawn into fibres. One of the downsides to phosphate glass is that it's usually quite weak, and so strength can be increased by combining phosphate glass with other biomaterials to create composite scaffolds. Combining phosphate glass fibres with a natural polymer called polylactic acid can make scaffolds strong enough for repairing cortical bone. The structure of muscle is essentially just bundles of fibres and can be repaired using scaffolds made from phosphate glass fibres. Studies have shown that phosphate glass fibre scaffolds can increase the regenerative ability of muscle cells. One of the most difficult things to repair are nerve cells. Damage to nerve cells can twist or tear the axon or tail of the cell. Phosphate glass fibre scaffolds have shown the ability to regrow the axons of damaged nerve cells. Phosphate glass scaffolds are innovative new materials with the ability to repair hard tissue like bone and soft tissue like muscle and nerves. They are biocompatible and biodegradable, and there is a lot of potential for their growth in the future.